Warning. Fortune and Strife features subjects which can be uncomfortable for a general audience, such as the use of drugs and alcohol, poor treatment of people of different classes or cultures, adult situations, psychological trauma, and violence. Listener discretion advised. Welcome to Fortune and Strife. I'm Robert, or Bayushi Shinichi, and I'll be your host and narrator.
I am Jeanne, and I am playing Doji Gen.
I am Tyler, and I am playing Agonies.
I'm Tiff, and I'm playing Kuniyui.
I'm Paul, and I'm playing Shishiro Bisho.
Rolling it back just a bit, Doji Gen takes Noboru off to one of his side offices to talk, leaving Kuniyui, Bisho, Shishiro Bisho, and Akotorichi to talk things out.
And I think during this time, Bisho is also going to be going around the room just looking at things. But he's first going to make sure Gen is all the way in the room. Sueno is probably somewhere within the building. Or listening.
She's probably going to go and be near the office during this whole thing, keeping a watchful eye and ear on the whole situation going on in that room, making sure that Gen is safe.
And, you know, as Bisho's just looking behind one of the screens nonchalantly.
Yeah, the one you're looking behind there is, you can see a small placard by it, and it's called Scenes of Gold, and it is a painted gold screen that depicts different scenes from Ryoko Wari down the Gold River to Earthquake Fish Bay, and it's an incredibly well designed and painted piece. You definitely could see the artistry on display there.
So Bisho starts off. Oh, Ricci, this is beautiful, but how do you feel about all these ashes of people all around?
Oh, it's a disgrace. Like,
Mm-hmm.
One, why would someone willingly give up their ancestors' remains? That doesn't make any sense to me. Secondly, why would someone ask for them? This is sacrilege.
I mean, what happens if we actually had a Kitsu here? How would they react?
Probably more angry than I would. And I'm willing just to go ahead and dispense justice myself.
Ricci, what do you mean by that?
I mean that he will have a sudden loss of his head.
Oh, that's too kind, actually. You know, usually situations like these, a tree and a rope is all you need.
Mm-hmm.
Bisho, why are you getting invested in this? You actually care?
I actually care. And he took something from Inari, and he also took a sleeping priest. I mean, all those combined, along with the bodies that have been displaced from their homes, from their family, they're not being taken care of. Those spirits are going to become restless sooner or later. This is a mess. A mess someone, well, like a Kuni witch hunter or Asahina will have to clean up eventually.
Well, I mean, it's not a Maho flavored mess, so...
Well,
not yet.
Well,
what?
Let me tell you something I found here. So that urn over there, pointing towards the one that looks like it would be holding a crab in it, that's a Haruma Yu. You may not be familiar with the name, but I remember hearing a story about it a while back. That was a berserker that went many times into the Shadowlands. And while I'm sure that appropriate measures were handled for the remains, that's not always a guarantee. And if this guy is holding potential remains of someone that went into the Shadowlands, that's gotta be something there.
I mean, I guess it depends on where they got it from, but if they're in an urn, they've also been burned, so usually that takes care of a lot of those things.
But what about the offerings that you need to give him? What about the respect? He's there. He's a doorstop.
A doorstop? What?
Yeah, if you just move it just little, you can stop doors with that urn. It's not in a proper place. It's not in an altar. They haven't. Well, I'm sure Nobuo and his men just think it's a pretty object. It has the remains of a person inside. It should be respected.
Okay. Well, are more...
Sorry, everything that Haruma did is basically summed up into being that. And that cannot stand.
You are more in tune with spirits than I am, and you would know more about ancestry, respect, and such. But, wouldn't just, killing him just cause another spirit and one that's immediately and actively angry? Like, does that solve this particular problem here?
There's ways to get around that. And plus...
Wait, hold on. If there's ways to get around that, isn't there also ways to get around, like, the problem that you currently are seeing here? Are you seeing angry spirits in here? I haven't seen anything.
I would say, didn't we just see angry spirits just a little bit ago?
I see one as she looks, like, directly at Bisho.
I mean, there were eyes popping out of the walls here. This place is haunted because of the spirits.
And there are awakened items here, just waiting, well, to awake.
Look, I'm not a fan of this guy either, but it just, you know what? Ricci, if you think this is the just and right way to take care of this, then I don't know what does Gen think?
Right? See, this may not be the just and right way. This is the way I am feeling right now. If there is some other legal recourse we can take, sure, I'll go with it. Otherwise, ancestors be with him because he's going to go meet them very soon.
Oh, I didn't know following your emotions like that was part of the Lion Way, but hey, I mean...
Do you not know of the Matsu? I've lived with them for my life.
I didn't take you for a Matsu personally, but so it goes.
My name is Akodo.
Well,
I guess we'll have to see what Gen thinks, but...
Or we could always see what the villagers think. They must have some kind of opinion. Especially, since this man is going to bring a haunting onto their village.
Well, I mean, I'm interested in what they think in general because he made a lot of claims about how, he was totally allowed to be here. It's totally fine. Everything's cool. And I'm, well, if that's not true, that'd be good to know, right?
I mean, have you ever met a man who's put himself in power and what he does to a town?
Yes. But it's not... It's not always terribly different than how local lords act.
Or a stranger pops into your town and just starts terrorizing everyone.
Is that what happened? You're right.
I mean,
you know what? We should just
know.
ask. Let's just ask them. That's a good point. Let's ask the villagers what this guy's about. Just a little bit.
And see how they feel about this whole situation, because some of them have already seen the starting of the haunting.
What? Really?
Well, yeah, there were local... Not all those are crime people.
Yeah, I assume they had to have some non-criminals working the sake brewery.
And wait, so like the thing that just happened, or like in general?
I mean, we could always ask. Hauntings can start out very small, little tiny accidents here and there, and then they keep building.
All right, well, that's speculation. Let's just ask then. Like, I'm down with the speculation. You got me on board. Let's go ask, right? Let's just.
Okay, let's go.
Ooh.
Bisha just starts walking toward the door.
Yeah, so you guys walk out towards the front, and the brewery is pretty much empty at this point. But as you guys get towards the front of the brewery, out towards the gates, you see that there is a combination of local peasants and a few of the gangsters still kind of looming around the gates. Looming's a bad word. They are definitely worried and wondering what is going on. Some of them have grabbed farming implements and whatnot if they have to defend themselves from someone or something that may or may not be coming out of the brewery. But they all seem pretty panicked right now.
Beautiful. Oh yeah, Bisha's gonna go out and start talking with them, because if there's anything this mob is gonna do is make a calm and intelligent decision.
Well, Yui's walking directly next to or directly behind Bisha, depending on how fast they're walking. So
Richi's on the other side.
All right, so you guys make it to the front gates of the brewery, and you see the smattering of people. It's maybe about a dozen or so, and mostly looks like workers or people that had just a few minutes before been trying to forcibly eject you from the brewery. What's going on in there?
Well, we're trying to decide how bad the haunting actually is. As you see, I have a Kuni with me. And I happen to be somewhat of a person attuned to the holy... Sorry. I happen to be a person attuned to the kami and other such things. And we were just wondering... And since you got that statue, have you been experiencing minor mishaps?
They kind of look around and like, well, Roma almost took his toes off the other day.
Well, that's how it starts. What else? Other fingernails getting chipped away, stubbed toes. Maybe someone has developed a cough.
And they all kind of look at one of their number, and you can tell it's one of those guys that just kind of perpetually has some form of allergy or whatnot, and he's kind of looking at them like, "Oh, not this again," but then realizes that he's got to sneeze like almost like right on command, and is trying his hardest to just stifle it as hard as he can. It's just not quite catching. And eventually he just lets out a sneeze. And they're like, see, no, it's like this all the time. He's like, I know, but it's all the time. It's been going on for years. You people never let it go.
Easy.
You need something more spooky than stubbed toes and fingernails and sneezing.
But it probably has gotten worse recently, hasn't it? You're sneezing and you're coughing and your congestion.
He tries to shake his head no, but almost everyone else is now like kind of in that zone, and they all start to kind of nod their heads in agreement with you.
Is that what we're worried about? Spirits causing sneezing? Bisho, I thought this was something more serious than this.
Oh, don't try. Like, these trifling things are only the start. And then you start seeing the eyes all around. You just had a taste of it. Something goes bad. Noboru gets panicked and sweaty. He's been keeping certain secrets about maybe hearing whispers. I mean...
And that's what several of the gangsters that were in there with you when your illusion went off start to motion to some of the other folks that maybe were in other parts of the brewery or who had grabbed friends from nearby, and they're like, "Yeah, see, this is what we're talking about. It was the other people saw it too. It wasn't just us."
Well,
Not the
perhaps
eyes.
we need.
Before the eyes, was there anything actually like, noticeable and not coughing, sneezing, various normal ailments?
No, they kind of look a bit sheepish and
No
kind of
violence, no writings, no, things getting tipped over by themselves or things moving by themselves or anything like that. Like things you hear in stories, right?
Or certain pieces of armor seemingly moving by themselves.
Well, yeah, like that would work too, moving by themselves.
No, nothing like that.
Oh.
Have anyone been hearing whispers? That's reasonable, yes.
And they start shaking their heads no.
Are you sure? Has Noboru started talking to himself yet?
They're like, talking to himself? No.
Lots of people talk to themselves.
He talks. He's been talking to the statue though.
What?
Oh no, that's not good.
Okay, wait. Actually, more about that.
Yeah, he's kind of been. We joke that he's been holding court with the saint.
What kind of stuff does he say?
Oh, just how happy he is to have him here, and how this will show Kenzo to keep his mouth shut, and asking if he's warm enough and making sure to tuck him in at night before they go to bed, making sure that he wraps them in another blanket to go with the robes that they drape him in.
What?
Well, here's a question. Did what happened today seem like that statue's happy?
No. Like a lot of them are just very, very confused, but yeah, they can't imagine that anything's happy with what they saw in there.
See, Kuni, it's already starting.
Be sure I know what you're doing. It's...
I mean, it's clear that something is happening here.
Yeah.
There is things happening here.
There certainly is. And no, he shouldn't have this statue. It's not his to own. But fine. If this is the way you want to go about it, Bisha. Fine.
We have to investigate. We have to make sure things are good and calm.
I haven't gotten anything so far. Hey, how about this? This is actually something I wanted to know. And Yui turns to the people. What kind of person is your boss? What happened to this town when he showed up? Has he been beneficial for you guys? Like,
when he showed up, no, Noboru grew up in this town. His family's owned the brewery for years.
And
no, Noboru's been good. We've expanded. He's provided jobs. He goes ahead and provides for us when we get sick or someone gets injured. In fact, what was his name? Kenshi lost a hand to an accident years ago, and he still pays his family to as if he was working on the staff. And
how many?
He really helped out after the tsunami.
And how many urns did Noboru have back then when that man lost his hand?
Oh, probably just 2.
So his family who owned this before, they didn't like collecting urns or whatever.
Oh no, that's all Noboru. His dad was just all concerned about how much money he could make in.
And then people started losing hands when he started collecting urns.
Oh no, if anything, that stuff's gotten better since Noboru took charge. He makes sure that people are paid and someone's always watching out for other people, and he doesn't keep us working late hours like his dad used to. Like the old man kept us working just almost day and night to keep the brewery going.
He's just trying to hide that he's getting a little annoyed at this.
Right?
Because he wants to be so angry. And then he's like, Nobru is actually tucking the statue in bed. He's being really good to everyone. You know, he's pretty cool. And Bisha's just like, no, I don't want to hear this.
Look, it sounds like he's misguided then, Bisho.
One of the townsfolk does speak. Noboru is better than his old man, yes, but let's not pretend that he's completely benign. Remember how he dealt with that situation a couple years ago, and everyone kind of lowers their head down low, and the man continues on. There used to be another family that also operated out of this town. They used to, how shall we say it politely, move goods up and down river. They used to work with Noboru's old man, but after Noboru took power, after his dad passed and took over the distillery, the brewery here, well, the other family thought that they were the ones in charge and tried to tell Noboru how things were going to be. And, well, Noboru didn't want to hear that, to have his family business taken away by someone who just, ran product and didn't invest in it or the people around him. And so Noboru sent out his men and had that family butchered.
Oh, that's not good at all.
Well, it depends who you ask. For Yamaguchi Brewery and everyone that works for it, it's been a real boon. For the city, it's been a lot more peaceful since that other family's gone. They were ruthless. They terrorized those who got in the way of their business. It's been a lot calmer since Noboru took power, but let's not forget what kind of man he is.
He took care of someone who was going to use violence to rule this area.
So he used violence to get rid of violence.
The man nods.
Yeah, so, that thing you're thinking about, Bisho. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
That's just how
Kuni-sama.
gangs work. That's just how it works. That's how it works. It is rule of power, rule of might. And if he's good to you guys, and you really mean it, because for real, this is your chance. If you want this guy to go away, if you want a chance to have somebody else in charge of this area, say something about that now. If you want him to stay, tell me that.
A couple of them look around. Mostly the gangsters are they shake their heads. They're like, no, the boss has been good to us, and we're going to be good to him. And some of the small smattering of townsfolk, they look around and they're thinking, could we get rid of this gangster? But then they realize that even after the story that they told, that it could be worse. They could have been under the rule of a much worse tyrant, and eventually no one speaks out against Noboru.
So, there you have it.
Yes, there we have it.
I don't have to be happy about it. And Richie just heads back inside. Yeah. No worries.
Bisho hates the situation.
Oh,
Bisho.
no, this is like the worst.
I like how this time Yui's not the most angry person, just because her very specific things are like, actually, I've been a peasant before, so.
Yeah. I'm like, how can I get a lynch mob? Almost was there until Kenny's like, shut up, Bisho.
I'm not just gonna let you have a lynch mob for something I know you're riling up. I'm like, dude, I'm totally down with a lynch mob for anything. Even if they were like, oh yeah, this stuff was just moving. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, fine. We got some spooky ghosties. No, he's cool. We even get healthcare. Oh shit, to forget that. They have
He's treating
dental.
us.
I don't have dental.
I don't need dental.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's like as is how she was raised. That is the rule of it's their problem to deal with it, and it's not different to her than how lords go. I don't like how that lord rules his lands. I'm gonna go take it over. Same shit, same exact shit, as far as she's concerned.
I do like I got to stick in the line of somebody comes to your town and just starts creating mischief.
Yep. Oh, I also loved being like, oh yeah, I see exactly one spirit right now who's angry. Bisho.
Yeah.
Bisha's angry, and like for the life of him, he just wants to turn into a giant fox and be like, listen to me, motherfuckers, he's bad.
Yeah, no, I think this is a good time to bring Gen in on this particular.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, the three of you return to Noburu's Museum of Treasures as Sueno and Gen return from interviewing Noburu.
So
I hate this man.
Gen,
I hate him dearly.
Yep.
you can't hurt him. He's
I can still hate him.
I can dream about it. So, what did you find out?
he keeps his books very well. And he's a difficult one. Barring a large amount of time investigating channels through various clan lands and running down each of these artifacts and to their source, we don't have a lot to hold him on. But I think that we can potentially convince the magistrates in Ryuji's village to, especially if the Sparrow Samurai are there, to take him in and take him to Kuden Susumi. If he is as good a neighbor as he says he is, I'm sure that they would be happy to see that he is properly taken care of. But
Well, the village seems to think he's doing a pretty decent job here. And the only thing that we've got at this point is the ledgers that he's left, that he's shown us. Note I said ledgers. He only gave us the one, but there's multiple that from what I could find. I just don't know where they're
it's on site?
Probably.
We could search the place, like, properly.
We could. We should.
I think so.
Yeah, that might have something else, so we can do that.
Can I maybe talk to him? Over?
Sure. I was going to bring him some tea. Here, you can bring him the tea.
Sure. And take the tea.
All right. So you go in and you see Noburu there, still hands bound, sitting as comfortably as one can, waiting.
Don't hurt him.
Yeah, you're not the doji.
No, I'm not. I don't know how you're supposed to drink this tea, though. Like, I'm really not sure. Like, your hands are bound, and I don't plan on tying you nor feeding it to you. So,
if you could just pull me a cup, I think I can manage. And he kind of turns his hands one way. I just have to sip from the side. It's not the first time something like this has happened.
Oh yeah, you got a table just like exactly tall. Yeah, you know what? Sure. Here you go. Just sort of set up this thing for you, and
it's a very awkward motion, but he's able to reach out and hold onto a cup and kind of sip out of it at the side. But he's having his other arm kind of pressed all the way across the length of his chest as he takes a sip and then sets it back down. I appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Why do you like urns so much? What is up with keeping all these other people's ashes here?
What? They're beautiful. They're works of art.
The urns? the remains. Which part of that is beautiful exactly? And look at my face and just really think about your answer here.
It's the urns. It's the glaze. It's the workmanship that puts into it, the artistry.
You could get pottery that looks pretty much the same. But no, you have actual people's urns and remains here. My Shugenja comrade is more than certain that you have upset just so many spirits by doing this.
I try to take care of them.
You can, try to take care of them. Are you a priest? Are you a Shugenja? Are you a monk?
I make several large donations to temples and shrines to come by and bless my treasures.
Okay. Then, and none of them have said anything at all about, no, you're paying them, so they wouldn't. So this is the problem with using money to get these sort of things. If you pay them to say, yeah, come bless, the stuff, they're not going to be like, hey, maybe you shouldn't have it here, because then they might need those offerings, and they might be like, oh, it's not my place to say anything. Plus, if they show up and you have you and all your guards around, they might feel like they might be in danger if they say such a thing, such as, they might be dangerous, and they might think, oh, it might be just your revenge you're going to get. So...
No, you're a smart one.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I've seen some things. I've seen terrible things go down, and you know what? You've at least got your head together enough that I didn't find Maho shenanigans here. Didn't find any corrupted things.
Oh, no, nothing like that. I would never deal in something like that.
Yes, because that would be absolutely stupid. But the thing is, I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm saying you're probably using this the wrong way. You're probably collecting these things, and it's going to come back and bite you. And yeah, you know what? I know there is already definitely a spirit who's super, super angry at you. And it's really only going to get worse.
Wouldn't be the first time that someone has taken offense to my procurement of objects.
Okay, hold on. It wouldn't be how many times has it been since someone's taken offense to this? How many?
Well, to which part? The urns or just the objects in general?
Let's focus on the urns, I guess. At least.
This would be the third time.
The third time. Okay, so who were the people for the first and second time? Wandering Shugenjas, people you paid, something like that? Like, did someone actually you paid them and they're like, oh, hey, never come back again?
No, one was a Hida that took offense that Yusan was not laid to rest in Koten, where he thought that's where someone of that stature should be at.
Mm-hmm.
And he would not take no for an answer. And he tried to assault me and my men at night. And, well, he got a bit of a lashing. He didn't. He took us to be nothing more than some goblin menace. He underestimated us.
Why was he alone? Idiot.
Well, he thought he could. He thought he was doing something noble, I guess. We sent him packing with his tail between his legs. And another one was, yes, a priest did take some offense that I was holding on to these objects, but I just didn't make use of his services after that, and his shrine has fallen into disrepair.
See, that's exactly what I'm saying. Haven't made use of his services after that? Yeah, if anyone tells you no, you're just gonna stop. Yeah, this is why you don't get people telling you no. This is why you don't find out about stuff ahead of time. Man, I'll be honest. Maybe I should just tell my friends, you know what? Let's leave it here. Let's just let all the terrible things happen to him, because it is probably just gonna get worse. You're like, oh, you wouldn't be the first to show up. It's like, cool, but how many times before it's someone who, you end up killed? How many other people need to show up before that's a problem? You are sitting here tied up right now. I literally have your life in my hands. And, so do my friends. But, really? You're gonna keep saying like, "Oh, I'm not afraid of blah blah." It's like, yeah, sure, because swords be real sharp, buddy, and you be real stuck in that chair.
Yeah, but your friend gave me her word that I wouldn't be harmed.
Sure,
and
she did.
I tend to believe her.
She did. She gave you her word.
Mm-hmm.
I could deal with her later.
Oh, you could. But I ask you this: you say you've been talking around to others.
Huh?
How far do you think you get out of town if they find out I've been stabbed and left for dead?
As far as I want. It's because here's the thing. You know that thing where you said people like, oh no, they'll come after you. Yeah, people are already coming after you. Dude, I don't want to kill you. I actually don't. It's a huge pain. And then I'd have to deal with all the haunting shenanigans. I don't want that. What I'm trying to tell you is, hey, maybe you could let us take these urns, right? Just the stuff that makes the spirits super upset, and you could get just a slightly less dangerous hobby, right? Then everybody wins.
Oh no, not everybody wins. I'm still out my investment.
Well, that's how investments work. Sometimes you lose them, right?
Like I said, you're a smart one. So let's make a deal then.
Okay.
You want to pacify your friends and get them to be gone and be done with this whole situation. Whole sort of mess. Is that about right?
I mean, I feel like that's closer to what you want, but in reality here, it's about pacifying not just my friends, but everyone who's going to keep coming after you because, you're doing all right for this town. Keep doing all right for this town. And we can have a mutual understanding and respect. Yes? I understand. And Kuni will get like kind of quiet and closer to him. I understand that what you're doing is not all that different than what the samurai lords do in their lands. I know. And then back up, and then she'll talk louder again. But it doesn't mean that you should just be playing with fire. So yes, sure, I want to pacify my friends, but it's much more than that. I want everyone here to win.
All right then. So we pack up the urns to go along with you. And you and your friends can decide how to spiritually pacify them and perhaps bring them back to their owners, or find some place that you feel is more honorable for them to be at.
I'll trust them to figure that out, but the urns and the statue. The statue's the most dangerous thing you own. And I'm not kidding.
He waves that off. Oh, the statue, that's nothing. That was just to teach Kenzo a lesson.
Okay. So you're cool throwing it in then?
He can have that one back. That was just to show him off for all that he was talking big about not needing me after begging me to help fix his roof.
All right. Appreciated.
No, that's fine. That was, like I said, that was just to teach him a lesson, which I imagine he's learned by this point, especially if he's come begging to you to solve his problems.
Yeah, let me make sure that that's what it is. I'm pretty sure the crux of it was urns and statue, but I have to at least double check with the Shugenja to just make sure that there was nothing else in particular that was. So give me 1 sec. I'll be right back.
He reaches out in that very awkward way to take another sip of his tea. Take your time. Let your friends know what you've come up with.
Yeah, will do. I'll walk out and take a look at everybody else. Okay. So, he's agreed to give us the urns and the statue. Am I missing anything? What?
Well, that suit of armor over there is awakened. That Yari definitely is awakened.
Is that a problem? Like, I know that awake. Like, do you know what it does? Because,
well, I could just ask it if you really want to, but that could cause so many problems right now.
I mean, Cooney awakened stuff to deal with stuff in the Shadowlands. Like, it's not a crime to own awakened things. Like, unless you think it really needs to go a very specific place because it has a dangerous thing inside it that should not be held by someone such as him. You need to tell me that. Otherwise, it's not really like a problem, you know?
Again, what do you think about the Yari? Dangerous, not dangerous? Hello?
Sorry, I was muted. It's very sacred to my clan. I know its history. It controls the weather. I can't believe that it would have been traded legitimately, but especially at a time like this. But
How did that get here? Really?
Let me take a look at the ledgers and see what I can find.
So going through it, you find that this was provided by the oh goodness, why am I forgetting the name of the temple all of a sudden? By the Heaven's Wisdom Temple, the astrologers there. It is signed off by the abbot there, the Asahina daimyo, and by the Doji daimyo at the time, which would have been Doji Satsume. And this is dated for kind of autumn of 1120, so 2 years ago.
Yeah, like what was there a monetary value placed on this one?
High, extremely. Let's say 10,000 koku.
All right. One other thing, I'm going to look through this entire ledger. How is this guy making money? Because the Sake Works is not going to be making 10,000 koku if the ledgers are actually, covering.
Yeah, 10,000 koku is approaching the value of a small rural province. The distillery, the brewery, distillery, however you want to say it, the Sake Works makes a good chunk of that. And you can see that they have pushed up capacity. They are selling quite a bit, but there's almost no way that they are able to create that level of value in a year. Perhaps they've been saving up for quite a while, but you see spending happening at quite a large rate because he also provides. He's also buying up all of these treasures of his. So this is. He probably can't be making that much money just from the Sake Works alone.
Yeah, I want to find this other ledger, but it looks like he paid a small, well, let's not say small, a large fortune for the Yari. Looks to be about 10,000 koku.
He can actually make that much with the swill he sells.
No,
You mean,
that's
like,
why I want to find the
chokes,
other
like-
ledger.
What? That's a real number?
Apparently
Yeah.
so.
Takes many hands to count that far.
that doesn't make any sense.
None of this makes any sense.
It makes
smells
a
as
little
bad.
bit of sense again with the date coming up just a few months after the tsunami.
Was it signed for by Satsume?
Yes, he is. At least his Honko stamp is attached with the paperwork, along with the Asahina daimyo and the abbot of the temple.
Again, can you check the...
Heaven's Wisdom Temple.
Yeah, did you check that for, like, forgery? Are you... Can you read... Can you read characters and calligraphy that well?
I can try.
Yeah, if you want to examine it as if it is a forgery, having memory, it looks like Satsume's Honko stamp. You don't see any immediate defects, but if you really want to dive in on that, you can certainly try to figure out if it's forgery.
Okay, I'll try.
All right. So that's probably going to be a air skullduggery, and I think it's a TN of 2.
Okay, I'll
Hey.
give it a shot.
Yeah.
I know it's only a TN2, but do you want a skilled assist?
Sure. Love skilled assist.
Yeah.
Okay, but is Bisho helping or not? No.
Yeah, Bisho is helping because he's vested in taking this guy down.
All right.
So they're probably looming over, again, looking at this Honko.
All right. So, yeah, we will go with an air TN2 skullduggery check with skilled assistance by Bisho.
Okay.
All right. So how did the skullduggery check go?
All right. I got 2 successes, 2 opportunities, and a strife on my check. And I want to spend my opportunities to notice an interesting detail about a character in the scene, in this case, Noboru, as an advantage or disadvantage, or establish a new detail. So I'm looking for dirt, more dirt.
Okay.
On
Noboru. In that regard, do you want to what do you want to say is true about Noboru? Because it is up to me on my discretion on what you establish about the NPC, but you can come up with the thing.
All right. I want to find out proof that any of this ledger was falsified. Is just flat out not true.
Okay. So one, on the bill of sale, to the best of your knowledge, that is, since you succeeded, that is Satsume's Honko stamp for when he was the Doji Daimyo, the clan champion of the Crane clan. Like, you do not see any discrepancies from all the other ones that you've seen over the years. So unless someone personally had his stamp and okayed it without his permission, which is what you understand of the way Satsumi does business, it does not happen. That would have to be a very good forgery. And then 2, this ledger is full of very legal documents, but it is clearly not the whole story. There is he more than likely has another set of books, taking from what Ricci picked up, that there is other books that they have, that this is either not his sole business, or he is using multiple businesses to pay for these things, but his spending out exceeds his income considerably, at least his legal income that he stated in these books.
Excellent. So we need to find the other set of books.
If Noboru is a man that I think he is, I'd first look in his room.
Could also just ask him.
He's not going to tell us. He's going to say this is the only one.
Sure. I mean, I could go ask anyways, but you could go ahead and search. It's whatever finds it first, right?
Sure.
Ricci will head on over back to Noboru.
Okay. So now, as you open the door, he's like, "Oh, a third one."
I'm not even going to sit down. I'm just going to look at him. Where are the other books?
Oh, what? You think you've earned the right to look at those? Just because you have me tied up here?
Yes. Either you tell us or we tear the place apart looking for him.
All right. If it'll save you from tearing the place up, I just need you to leave the museum for a moment so I can go ahead and pull them out for you.
You get to choose one of us to stay in the museum with you.
All right, then. I choose you.
Very well. I'll then help him up to his feet. And then come on out with Noboru and say, he'll show us where the books are, but he'll only pull them out when everyone else is left. I'll be staying in here to make sure nothing else untoward happens.
All right, sure.
Are you certain? All right.
I don't trust this.
Listen, I just don't want you people tearing my museum apart at this point.
Oh, just your museum.
I also don't want this museum torn apart. It would take forever, and we just leave a huge mess that then someone else would have to come clean up. So honestly, let's just try to make this as clean as possible, right? Just as quick and easy, right?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Easy as can be. So once everyone kind of removes themselves and he goes to close the doors to the front of the museum there, if you could untie my hands.
Okay. I will I will draw the katana to cut the bonds or the ropes.
Nice.
But I'll just casually just keep it in my hand.
Oh, so dramatic.
No response. I'm just letting him do his thing.
All right. So you undo him there, and he's like, all right, so your friend got very close earlier today, and I was a little worried at a moment. And he goes and he picks up the purple vase or urn that did not have any ashes in it, and he picks it up and pulls it over some of his display cases, and he then reaches kind of into the corner of the wall and snakes his hand down to a loose board and kind of pops that open and pops a couple other boards up. All right, so what other books are you interested in?
What all books do you have?
Well, I got books on weapons. I got books on opium. I got books on non-taxed liquor. I got books on women, and I got books on gambling.
All right. I think all of them will be fine.
Oh, is nothing in particular you're looking for?
All of them will be fine.
Very well. And he goes ahead and he pulls out a set of much smaller books, but looks like they've been handled quite a bit, and they are full of names and numbers. Now, this isn't a bit of a code, but I think that you'll be able to match entries in these ledgers to anything that you are curious about where money came from my main ledger. It's not going to give you every name that you need to know or everything to blackmail somebody, but I can be persuaded to let you know a few names here and there as he starts to put back the planks and put back the purple vase.
I won't say anything. I'll just wait for him to finish, and once the vase is back in place, I'll just call out, all right, come on back in.
And yeah, there you find Nobru with his hands unbound and Ricci in the possession of another half dozen small bound ledgers.
That's so many books.
I have hands in many different areas of interest.
This is going to take... Oh, no, we got at least two people who are happy to go through this kind of stuff, I suppose.
Yeah, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have about them if they're trying to find anything in particular.
Yeah, is there any... What particular... Oh, wait, right. I mean, it's really just the income thing, but that would generally be explained by the other stuff, so I feel like they're going to look through it, though, because they're, well, we're... You know what? We just got to make sure that you're actually good for the people around here and not just pretending to be.
Fair enough. All right. So, yeah, you have a whole host of data to look through. Again, you have just gobs of paperwork to go through on this. Where might you want to start, or how do you want to go about studying it?
Oh, my head hurts.